Minnesota has for his annual trip up to his cabin to open it up with his beautiful wife. Safe travels to the Campinans. We hope to see you back soon, happy and healthy. We got a great show lined up for you. We are brought to you by Bellevue University. If you're looking for the ideal college experience, head over to bellevue.edu, register for classes, become a Bruin today. No classes on Friday. The majority of your schooling done online, live sports right on your campus. Check out bellevue.edu tonight. Nebraska now has a major issue in the running back room. How will they address it? That's how we're going to open up the show. Which Nebraska coach has the most to gain and the most to lose this season? I have an interesting take for you, Jake. Can't wait to get your thoughts about that at 6:15. Speaking of the Huskers, Brian Munson of Husker Online and On3 joins us to talk about another big recruiting weekend for Nebraska coming up and past. And then we're going to find out what's trending on social media. It's all Nebraska first hour because the Hall of Fame class for the 2026 Nebraska Hall of Fame has been released, and we're going to tell you our thoughts on that list. We'll buy or sell on several different topics, including one LeBron James and where he's going to be taking his talents to, because it's not to the West Coast. We have an open bar tonight. That's right, 7:15. You take over the show. We're going to open up the show to you, give you your answers to your questions, and let you get your thoughts out as well. And then Omaha South's head football coach, DeJuan Johnson, and his players are going to join us in studio at 7:30 to preview the Packers season. And as always, we'll close up the show with our closing arguments tonight as well. My microphone is not muted. We obviously got the news yesterday that today, that Mekhi Nelson, the Nebraska running back, has been arrested in Florida on assault and battery. And this is to make this less about that situation and make it more about Nebraska's football season. I have some serious questions about the decision-making around this staff going back to last year. And Jake, one of my biggest proponents all offseason this year was, don't make me have the same questions at the end of the season that I had at the beginning, because that was a big problem last year. I think anybody like yourself that was wearing a big red N across their chest and a Husker hat asked the question, well, who's behind Emmett? Well, what happens if the running back room can't get things going behind Emmett Johnson because the offensive line has questions? Well, what are we going to do in the defensive line to replace Ty and Nash? Now, that latter question, obviously, there's a few more holes there that couldn't be filled as easily. But going into this offseason, you have the same questions about that running back room that you had about it a year ago outside of Emmett Johnson. Now, Emmett Johnson ended up having a close to an All-American style year and close to an All-Big Ten style year. And you got a ton of productivity out of him. The offensive coordinator said at the end of the season, we felt like our biggest strength was leaning on our offensive line and giving the ball to Emmett Johnson, which that was clearly the case. Now, that same group of people said, we feel really confident about the running back room this year. So have they earned a little cachet there? Sure. But does anybody else feel like there's still a bunch of question marks around that room? And now listen, nobody's played a snap yet. There's a chance that Jamal Rule is that guy, and Quentin Ives could be a short yardage back, and maybe Isaiah Mose, who was never really a running back in the first place, who made that switch last year from wide receiver, figures it out. Could all that happen? Sure. Would you feel a lot better about that room if Shamar Brown was in it in this rotation? You probably would. And now that's the low hanging fruit, because he's a junior J. He's a former Creighton Prep running back. He's from here. He obviously left North Dakota State, went to Miami, and there was a lot of talk around the national championship game that he may be coming home because there was coaches tweeting out pictures of Bisons and things like that. There was all of that rumor and innuendo around maybe going out to get another running back to add to this room. And I think it would have made a lot of people have a giant sigh of relief. Now, listen, there's still some FCS guys out there that have pretty high profiles that you could add to this room still before the closure of the official window. We're going to get Brian Munson's thoughts on that at the 6:30 segment. But it's not like this is we couldn't have seen this coming scenario. And I'm not saying that one of your running backs getting arrested should have been at the top of your mind. There's injuries that pile up. This is, in the grand scheme of things, from a roster standpoint, this is no different than Mekhi Nelson tearing his ACL in the spring. And that is something you have to factor in as a staff and as a team. That's eventually going to happen. Listen, it could have happened to Emmett Johnson last year, and that's why a lot of people kept going, yeah, but. And I think the move to get a new offensive line coach was absolutely a necessity. But it kind of felt like Donovan Raiola, to some degree, took some of the flack of the lack of run game because the offensive line wasn't producing. And obviously being able to protect the quarterback was a big standpoint of that too. But we're going to get into this in the next segment, but I'm very high on Jeep Wade. It'd be really hard not to be at this point.
You have to be.
With the way he's been able to recruit, what he was able to do in Atlanta at Georgia Tech. But is there a real life world where the offensive line is massively improved and the running back room is not? I think that's a real possibility. So for this staff to go, we're good with the dudes we have. That's good for, let's talk about the net positive. That puts a lot of belief in that group of guys and maybe gives them a little bit of pep in their step that they didn't go out and get recruited over. But if they're not, and they can't deliver on the goods, there's nobody that's going to point at a freshman in Jamal Rule and go, well, he couldn't figure it out. That's on him. There's nobody that's going to point at Quentin Ives and say, well, that guy didn't get a ton of carries before the season. And the fact that he's not a number one back and can't carry a Big Ten team on his back, it's his fault. There's nobody that's going to look at Isaiah Mosey and say, well, that guy was a wide receiver when he came in. Now he's playing running back, and that was his decision. So he should be a 1,000-yard rusher. It's not going to fall on any of those guys. It's going to fall on this coaching staff because there were ample opportunities to make moves. Now, listen, is there a possibility they went out and asked a bunch of dudes to come play running back in Nebraska, and they just all happened to say yes, and then publicly they said, oh, we're good with the guys we have? That's a possibility. Are we ever going to know the actual answer to that? Probably not. But the fact is, I don't know which one's worse. Now that I said that out loud, is it worse if they didn't go get anybody, or is it worse if everybody said no?
Good thing to think about, because that easily could have happened. Because I mean, a lot of running backs probably come in. Yes, they did really good in the running game, but the amount of sacks that we did give up last year,
sure,
that could easily scare some running backs away. But I think with the thing of Jeep Wade, the offensive line is going to have a lot more work to do, just because you really don't know where this running back room is going to be at.
Sure. Well, and that's also true because you also have a mobile quarterback now too, right? And
that helps.
You have 3 new faces on that line. I mean, you have Tree Babalade and those guys coming in that were not here, Braden Black and those guys were not here a year ago that are expecting to get the start, and obviously they've got to still earn that. But the fact that you do have a mobile quarterback now is one of the other reasons that I wonder if they pulled the emergency brake on trying to get another running back. Well, we got another dude to carry the ball. We feel really good about the collective group we have, and I still think Connor Booth is an outlier in this, and I think he is a guy that can contribute, and I don't think he's getting enough looks at this point, and it'll be interesting to see how that plays out in the fall, specifically if another injury piles up. But I wonder how much of it was we can put that money elsewhere. We could put that money into the offensive line. You can go out and get some guys to help shore that up that fit more of the mold of what Jeep Wade is looking to do, and get a mobile quarterback to have another guy take some of the load, add a different wrinkle to it. Now, I'll caution everybody. We've kind of seen what it looks like around here when Nebraska gets way too reliant on a quarterback run game. And I know people want to say, oh, that was Adrian Martinez and that was Scott Frost. You remember what it looked like when in year one of Matt Rule, when you had a mobile quarterback and sometimes things just got a little bit messy and they didn't do anything offensively? It relied a lot on Jeff Sims trying to ad-lib with his legs. Now, you may not remember that very well because it didn't go very well. and I harpen back to, and I understand that there's a lot of Matt Rule that's adapted, and there's been some changes on the offense, and obviously a new offensive coordinator, Dana Holgorsen. And I think Dana is getting a little bit of a bad rub because he's an air raid guy, and there hasn't been an emphasis on trying to get a running back, et cetera, et cetera. And I put exactly zero stock into that because ultimately the buck stops with the head coach, right? But if it gets to week 7 and we're talking about Anthony Calandria needing to make plays with his legs for Nebraska to be making a bowl, it is going to get very, very loud on this radio station and very, very quiet inside of Memorial Stadium. That's 2 things this coaching staff cannot have at heading in midway through year 4 of this tenure of Matt Rule. So does that all come down to the running back room? No. But I'm going to tell you this. Those 83,000 coaches in the stands on Saturday had questions about the running back room. Last year, they had questions about the running back room after the first 2 drives of the bowl game. They had questions about it this spring. They have questions about it now, and you're down a guy. And I think they're all valid points and valid questions. It is going to be up to this coaching staff to prove them wrong. And should that be their job? Maybe not. But this place doesn't get very quiet when questions don't get answered. And think Matt Rule's personality has bought him a little bit of time in that standpoint. I'm not on the Matt Rule's on a hot seat vibe at all. And actually, I think he maybe has overachieved in 3 years. I know a lot of people don't want to hear about this because he is 500.
Ooh.
But it's issues like this that seem to keep coming up that make me question the decision making. Now, I think Rob Orich is a hell of a coach. I think the defense is going to be vastly improved this season. I do think the offensive line is going to be better. I have questions about the Anthony Calandria turnover problem that he's had his entire career. And I obviously have questions about the running back. Now, you got a stable of horses at the wide receiver position that can offset that. I think the tight end room is going to be vastly improved this season as well. And they're pretty good a year ago. Can all of that offset the run game? Because usually those things complement each other. Yeah, I think that's a possibility. Can you do it with a freshman running back, which I think most people are expecting Jamal Rule to be the starter? You can. Would I feel better with a seasoned running back that has 500-600 yards at another school coming in here and being either the starter or a secondary option? Absolutely. So we'll see. And there's a possibility Quentin Ives hits a new stride too. Which coach in this staff has the best chance of improving their stock? Which coach better hope their stock doesn't go the opposite direction? We'll tell you that on the other side of the break. If you missed this segment, check it out on our radio replay page on 1620thezone.com. It was brought to you by the most trusted suit buying experience in the Metro. It's Jerry Ryan Clothing and Sportswear. Over 50 years of dressing grooms and groomsmen in the Omaha area is Jerry Ryan. They've been doing it for me personally my entire life. They've been dressing me, but I also got dressed for my biggest day of my life. My wedding suit came to me from Jerry Ryan. I've used it multiple times since then because I didn't rent my tux. I bought it from Jerry Ryan, 78th and Dodge. They've been dressing grooms in the Omaha area for over 50 years. Which Nebraska coach has the most gain and most to lose this season? We come back, 1620 Zone.
Weather from KETV Newswatch 7 is brought to you on 1620 The Zone by Certified Transmission.
Partly cloudy, a little hot yet this evening. Temperatures still up close to 90 degrees. Later tonight, there is a chance we get a shower or thunderstorm and a low temperature down in the low to mid 70s. And a mix of clouds and sun on Wednesday. Again, a shower or thunderstorm chance with a high in the low 90s. I am Chief Meteorologist Bill Randy from KETV Newswatch 7.
Ready to make a positive impact in a young boy's life? Join Big Brothers Big Sisters of the Midlands and become a mentor where you are matched up with a boy in the greater Omaha area. Over 50 boys are waiting for someone like you to guide and inspire them. Visit mentoromaha.org and sign up to make a difference in a boy's life. Don't wait. Make a lasting impact today.
The real game changer in college athletics, it's coaches. And at Bellevue University, there is an experienced team of coaches who know you both as an athlete and as a person. Plus, there are student coach advisors who are there to provide individualized academic support every step of the way as you progress towards your degree. At Bellevue University, you're not just another athlete. You belong. We're for you and for college sports. Visit BUBruins.com.
The weather's warming up, meaning ants, wasps, and termites are teaming up to invade your home. It's time to call in a better team. At Recon Pest Services, we stop the bugs before they take over. But our commitment doesn't stop at your front door. We care for your property like it's our own because our community is our family. We're dedicated to making Omaha better by supporting local youth sports, events, and community causes. Partner with a pest control company that truly cares. Visit ReconPestServices.com today and stay protected all season long.
Rail Cars Happy Hour is here. Stop by 144th and Blondo Monday through Saturday from 2:30 p.m. to 6 p.m. and Sunday from 2 to close and enjoy $2 to $5 off appetizers, $1 off draft and bottles of beer, and delicious ciders. All signature cocktails are $10. Classic cocktails are $8. And every glass of wine is $2 off. Plus, Rail Car's incredible brunch menu is on display 9:30 to 2 Saturday and Sunday. Rail Car Modern American Kitchen, 144th and Blondo.
Are you ready to put your business in the starting lineup? Whether you need eye-catching storefront signage, bold seasonal window graphics, or yard signs for your summer campaign, Signovation is your MVP. At Signovation, your brand shows up and wins. From lighting up the Omaha night sky with your logo, to making sure your message jumps out of the grass and grabs your ideal customer's attention, we've got you covered. Don't sit on the bench. Get in the game. Visit SignovationOmaha.com today.
Why do people think the best fishing trips are just stories? It was this big, they say. Well, at Ballard's, we make legends come true. This September, hop on a deluxe motor coach to Lake of the Woods. 4 nights, 3 days of guided walleye fishing, and all meals included. Fresh, wild, walleye, the lake, and you. Head to ballardsresort.com to book your September walleye adventure on Lake of the Woods. Book your adventure, because the best walleye story is just a click away at ballardsresort.com.
If you haven't been to Funplex in a while, you really need to see what's waiting for you now. More rides, more slides, more reasons to make a day of it. Because these days, it's not just the Funplex you remember, it's Shipwreck Chutes. It's the redesigned Funplex Speedway. And now, it's the brand new Mammoth, Nebraska's biggest, best, and fastest roller coaster. Obviously, there's only one thing left to do. Funplex and find out. 70th and Q, dude. Tickets at fun-plex.com.
The Pinnacle Bank Championship presented by Woodhouse is back for its 10th year. Don't miss your shot for good vibes, great memories, and unrivaled action from the biggest up-and-coming golf pros. Get your tickets for the weekend that never misses at thepinnaclebankchampionship.com.
Twisted Thunder Fireworks is going to save you big money. You'll find the best variety and the lowest prices as you celebrate the country's 250th anniversary. They have an amazing assortment of red, white, and blue fireworks of all shapes and sizes. Check them out online at twistedthunder.com, where you can watch all our items before you buy. Come see them at 156 in Blondo, Westroads, the Alley in Bellevue, and at Council Bluffs at Horseshoe Casino, as well as several other area locations. That's twistedthunder.com.
You're listening to After Hours with Jimmy Allen on 1620 The Zone.
$6:17 on a Taste Test Tuesday here at 1620 The Zone. It's not too late. Head over at After Hours 1620 on Twitter. Retweet the post from Marrow tonight, who hooked us up with some fantastic food tonight. If you haven't been out to Marrow, it's the best hidden gem in all of Gretna. The owner's cut peppercorn sauce steak was amazing tonight. It's already cut for it. It just melts right off your fork. It's fantastic. Also, 2 new lunch menu items available this week. Jake, you had a chance to dive into the new burger that Marrow is offering. They throw some delicious additives on there, including. Are you a big fan? How big of a fan are you of lunch meat and just in general?
Oh, I love lunch meat.
Yeah, there was a couple different toppings on the burger tonight as well. So if you're looking for new menu items at Marrow, I mean, listen, they're a brand new restaurant and they're adding stuff to it to the menu daily. Check out Marrow out in Gretna tonight. There's a lot of discussion around what exactly this football team is going to look like in the fall for Nebraska. And obviously, I think a lot of those questions are warranted because of how many new pieces there are coming back. But there's a lot of coaches on this staff that are returning. We mentioned some of the new faces that'll be around this program in the fall as well. But which coach has the most to gain this season? And I mentioned 2 of them in the opening segment. And the reason I have Jeep Wade number 1 is because he has the highest stock right now. And if people are already buying into you before the season starts, I think you've got the most to gain, because if things just go well, they're going to point and say, see, did you see what Jeep Wade was doing in the recruiting seasons? Did you see what Jeep Wade has brought into this program through the portal? See, he's got a lot to do with it. So I think he's a guy that I think is going to be tough to keep around Lincoln if things go well. And obviously was the National Assistant Coach of the Year last year. I don't know if he has head coaching aspirations. I don't know if he has offensive coordinator aspirations. But if this offensive line takes a major jump forward, you're going to see a lot of probably Southern-based schools coming to call in for Gideon Wade's services. But another guy that I have as 1A is Rob Orich for a couple reasons. I know that dude wants to be a head coach sometime. He put multiple guys from a group of 5 school into the NFL last season. And he's also brought a ton of guys with him. And that gives you kind of a leg up in that situation. So not only does it give you the, hey, I could be head coaching material. Hey, I could have the Tony White-esque effect. Hey, I can make this defense improved. Hey, we may turn the Big Ten into a copycat 4-2-5 league aspect of it. Those are all glass all the way full conversations. but he's almost got an extra carrot at the end of the stick to chase too, right? Because you did it at the Group of 5 level. Can you do it at the Big Ten? If you could do it in the Big Ten, the next question is, can you do it as a head coach? It's going to very much also have the Tony White effect of, okay, well, how much money do you have to keep him? Because we can throw a bigger check. And if the big job opens up, obviously that's going to take a bigger paycheck. And it's also going to garner more attention for him. Now, those two guys are two new faces. And that's why I think there's a lot to do with them having the most to gain. The guy that I think has the most to lose this season, outside of the man in the head chair, and I don't even think it's debatable, is Glenn Thomas. Because, and I think a lot of people might circle Dana Holgorsen, and maybe some people would say if the tight end room falls off, maybe there's something about Marcus Satterfield to be said there too. But if Anthony Colandrea, and I'm not saying Anthony Colandrea has to have a Cam Newton, Joe Burrow-esque season for everybody to think Glenn Thomas should keep his job. But if Anthony Colandrea looks more like the guy that he was at Virginia than he was the guy at UNLV, and you're bringing him in after being the Mountain West Player of the Year, yep, it's a big jump up in competition. I will give you that. But if he takes a massive step back from where we saw him at UNLV, if his turnover problems become worse, I'm not even saying he has to match his stats from a year ago. He doesn't have to pass for 23 touchdowns, rush for 649 yards, and put double-digit touchdowns on the board on the ground either. I'm not even saying he has to do that. But if the conversation starts to become, you don't want to be a 5-star guy, you don't want to be an offensive player of the year in your conference and go to Nebraska because this is what they do to their quarterbacks. I know we talked about this a little bit last week, but if let's say Matt Rule's the head coach in Lincoln 2 years from now. And I don't think that's that far-fetched of an idea. And let's say something weird happens where an ideal situation lands for Trey Taylor to go somewhere else. I think he's 100% committed, and I don't think he's going anywhere else. But listen, things happen. If Anthony Colandrea takes a massive step backwards, and he has another year of eligibility, so there's a chance he's here for 2 years anyway. But if he isn't the guy, and you don't get Trey Taylor in 27, what is the selling point on coming to run this offense? And if that's the case, Dana Holgorsen's probably gone too, and I can't imagine Marcus Satterfield sticks around that much longer after that. His massive buyout drops off also, because he's going to want to be an offensive coordinator again somewhere. I have been incredibly impressed with this coaching staff's ability to sell this program without the lack of success it's had. And I think a lot of people circled Dylan Raiola and said, what's the 5-star lure? You got a 5-star guy, so there's going to be guys that want to come play with him. Now, that's definitely the case in the 27 class as well, but they've been able to get those 5-star guys to come here. And the Dylan Raiola, and I hate making the comparison between Dylan and Trey because I think their situations are completely different. Dylan was a legacy guy that committed to 2 other schools and then ended up falling into Nebraska's lap. Trey Taylor has been a pillar of the 27 class and basically committed to Nebraska as soon as he could have. There was a couple other schools in the mix, but I think everybody felt good about getting Trey Taylor. They did that despite what happened with Dylan Raiola. And I think that has been incredibly impressive. They did it, and obviously the switch from Holgorsen to Holgorsen from Satterfield happened a lot quicker than that. But the fact that they've been able to go out and get guys interested like Ahmad Hudson. I know he's committed to LSU right now, but to even flirt with the Nebraska program, despite there not being this long lineage of tight ends that this coaching staff has turned out at this point, despite how things went with Dylan Raiola, despite the conversation we opened the show up with the running back conversation, that they continue to get guys to be interested in this program. And a lot of people will point at guys like Kawan Lacey, who went to Ole Miss, and they missed out on that. And obviously we just mentioned Ahmad Hudson, and there was, the Ryan Wingos of the world that they thought they had a shot with because of Dylan Raiola. And I'm here to tell you, we've talked a lot of negative throughout these first 25 minutes, Jake. If they start this season 5-0 and Indiana comes to town and you could shock the world, think about what this coaching staff has been able to do with the limitations and the lack of success that they've had past the mediocre level. If they can knock off not only a top 25 team for the first time, but the defending national champions in Lincoln,
huge. And
I promise you there's going to be a ton of recruits in attendance for that game.
Especially if they're 5-0, you have to bring out everything you can.
That light show is probably going to be second to none that you've ever seen in that stadium. Is it hard to believe that could happen because it hasn't happened yet? Absolutely. Did you think after the way the first season went with Dylan, the way the second season went after Dylan, they'd have the recruiting class that they do in 27? I necessarily didn't. Speaking of recruiting, we're going to talk to Brian Munson from Husker Online and On3 next. Get his thoughts on where this class is and where it's continuing to develop and what is Nebraska going to do at running back with the Mekhi Nelson news that we got yesterday. We'll talk to Munson about all of that and more. If you missed the segment tonight, check it out on our radio replay page at 1620thezone.com. Tonight it was brought to you by Williams Law. Bob and his team will defend you if you've been wrongfully accused of something, or maybe your son or daughter has found themselves in a little bit more trouble now that the weather's got warm outside. He can defend your loved ones as well. Head over to WilliamsLawLLC.com tonight. Bob and his team are going to sit you down, explain your rights, answer your questions with a free, no-obligation legal consultation. Head over to WilliamsLawLLC.com. Work with Bob and the crew tonight. Brian Munson of Husker Online on 3. We come back.
Are you ready for the game changer of the day? Bellevue University has a new state-of-the-art 72,000 square foot field house featuring premium courts, generous fan seating, top-tier locker rooms, dedicated athletic training, and a strength and conditioning space, plus a whole lot more. It's not just a venue, it's a home court advantage. We're for you and for college sports. Visit BUBruins.com.
The weather's warming up, meaning ants, wasps, and termites are teaming up to invade your home. It's time to call in a better team. At Recon Pest Services, we stop the bugs before they take over. But our commitment doesn't stop at your front door. We care for your property like it's our own because our community is our family. We're dedicated to making Omaha better by supporting local youth sports, events, and community causes. Partner with a pest control company that truly cares. Visit ReconPestServices.com today and stay protected all season long.
The real game changer in college athletics, it's coaches. And at Bellevue University, there is an experienced team of coaches who know you both as an athlete and as a person. Plus, there are student coach advisors who are there to provide individualized academic support every step of the way as you progress towards your degree. At Bellevue University, you're not just another athlete. You belong. We're for you and for college sports. Visit BUBruins.com.
Criminal, civil, personal. If you or a loved one is facing a lawsuit, let Williams Law represent you and your family today. With more than 20 years litigation experience in Nebraska, Williams Law will defend you with the dedication you deserve. If you're facing a DUI or if your son or daughter has been accused of a crime, Williams Law is here for you. Call 402-522-6317 to get a free, no-obligation consultation and to get the representation you deserve today.
Is your car making weird noises? Don't wait until a small issue turns into a big repair bill. Take it to Mad Hatter Auto Repair, where they take the madness out of auto repair. From oil changes and brakes to full diagnostics, their expert team gets you back on the road fast and without breaking the bank. Honest, reliable, local. That's the Mad Hatter difference. Follow the Little White Rabbit to 140th and West Center Road in Omaha or 34th and West Broadway in Council Bluffs. Mad Hatter Auto Repair, where your car gets treated right.
And the match is about to begin.
Most of the team is out with COVID-19, so there'll be some substitutes tonight.
What's this? We have an unexpected guest on the field.
It's a dog. Well, they could do with extra players.
She's going for the ball.
Are front paws hands or feet?
Soccer season is full of surprises, and COVID-19 could be one of them. If you test positive, prescription medications may help. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Learn more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
You're listening to After Hours with Jimmy Allen on 1620 The Zone.
$6:29 on a Taste Test Tuesday here on 1620 The Zone. Jimmy Allen, Jake Janisek. Now brought to you by Bellevue University. If you're looking for the ideal college experience, head over to bellevue.edu and register for classes. Tonight, Brian Munson of On3 and Husker Online now joins us. Munson, welcome into the After Hours Lounge.
Hey, buddy, I saw the new graphic, man. You guys are moving on up.
Jake is just trying to upstage Dan, so we have all new logos, and it's just trying to put Dan to shame now that he's on vacation.
It's
so
a major flex. I gotta admit, it was massive.
We may be moving Dan to the bullpen. He may be getting demoted as we speak. We'll decide that by the end of the show. He's
a coaching decision.
Yeah.
Coach's
Game time
decision.
decision for when Dan gets back. He's actually on vacation in Minnesota and going fly fishing this weekend.
You can't do that. Then it's like the guy that's on injury comes back. Does he get his spot back, or does he have to earn his spot back?
It's more like Craig from Friday. Does he get fired on his day off or not? Well, that's more work.
Yeah. How are you going to get fired on your day off?
A guy that also can relate to that is Mekhi Nelson. Seems like he may be getting fired on his day off. Like that transition. See what I did there? What do you like? Do you think Nebraska is I don't know if capable is the right word. Do you think Nebraska has the likelihood to maybe go get one of the FCS guys that are still technically out there in the portal now that this has happened?
I mean, it's obviously an option. I think the problem that you have ultimately is that I think it's a massive jump to come play and be effective in the Big Ten. What are you buying yourself? You're bringing in a guy that doesn't replace Mekhi Nelson. He doesn't offset a spot in the room necessarily either. I mean, the biggest thing to me, I think that this exposes is the fact that Nebraska decided for the last 2 seasons to not go out and get a portal running back in the first place. Now, it looked okay last year. I mean, it worked out pretty good in your favor. Emmett did a great job, but you got to look at the way that the room looked after Emmett Johnson left and went on to the Chiefs. So you had a massive amount of production that was leaving, not a lot that was returning, not a lot of experience. Now you take Mekhi out of that room, and now you're stuck like with Mosey and a true freshman and Rule, and you get Ives and Booth, and I come back to the room is capable. It just isn't experienced. And that's the worst part about having to kind of, get ready to go through this Big Ten season is with like just inexperience. You're not going to pick it up and learn and apply it, 1 week to the next, because it's just, I think it gets so daunting. It's such a tough schedule. I think Nebraska and Coach Barthel and Matt Rule, they need to figure out quickly who really projects to be like that number 2, number 3 kind of guy, and really get them going. And then tell the 4 guy, you're going to have to work, in a little bit less of a public place. You're not going to get those reps because I got to get the first 3 guys ready. But very quickly, it can come down to you, and we're going to expect that you have an ability to go ahead and step in there and play, whoever that guy would be at 4 string. So that's just my thought.
What percent do you put on them adding another back to the room?
I don't. I mean, do they have a capability? I mean, first of all, we've seen some crazy stuff come out of these battery charges before. We don't know exactly what's going to happen. The stories, though, the TMZ report and the rumors that go along with it that I've heard that I will not repeat, they're not good. They're not good. Like, that lens is really bad. And if there is truth to that, to those stories and those rumors, I think ultimately that you can't keep a guy like that on your roster. Like, that is simply going to be a problem for Nebraska and Matt Rule to justify kind of having that guy on the roster that goes down potentially for having those kind of charges. But I mean, it is a country where we believe in, innocent until proven guilty. And like I said, we've seen it before where things kind of drawn out of, context and whatever happens and charges get dropped or busted down or whatever. But I mean, the rumors are not good. The rumors are not good around that. Let's just put it that way.
One of the other rumors floating around is that Nebraska has a shot at Ahmad Hudson still. I think there's a lot of people that believe that is maybe a little bit more of a possibility than others. Outside of him, though, who would you say is the most important guys left to get on Nebraska's big board?
I think there's only 2 guys left that aren't committed anywhere. I think you got like Khalil Taylor. I think you got Kamari Whitfield, and both those guys are going to come off the board on July 6th. So we don't have much longer to wait to kind of figure things out. Now, I think that, and for both of those guys, I think one of them is really favoring Nebraska. I don't think the other guy, things are kind of fading pretty quickly with. So that's something to kind of consider there. But I do put Taylor up there higher than I do Whitfield. I think when you put the film on Khalil Taylor, he could be a real difference maker for Nebraska. I think he's the guy that, I've been doing this comparison to like Matthew Gregory, who everybody thought Nebraska was kind of trending for. And in my article that was kind of pre-written, I had no choice but to kind of be a little bit critical of him. He didn't have great reps on his film where it showed him getting off of press coverage. Everybody just 12 and bailed. And you're not going to see that in the Big Ten. There was no blocking reps. If that's a 10-4 guy, he's not separating with 10-4 speed. And there's no way everybody else in that league is running 10-5. So I think the difference between like Khalil and Matthew is just you have a much better athlete, I think, overall that can take all the tools that he has that he has, and he can put it all at use at one given time. I think Khalil also is just a much more polished route runner. I think he's a technician. I think Matthew Gregory was good for a couple routes on the route tree. You could have probably felt good about that. But I think you can feel good about just about anything you want to run with Khalil Taylor. I think he can do all the routes. I think he can take the top off of the defense. He can work the short to intermediate stuff, and he can absolutely be a factor in the screen game. I think the other thing too is, you can get a little bit more involved with him too. I think he did have some return stats. He could potentially get a look there as well. I know that was something that was maybe potentially a sore spot between like Nebraska and Mike Eckler last year. Keep using Ja'Cory Barney there, and putting a pretty valuable asset out there on the football field at one time. But maybe that helps out the team a little bit this season. Maybe go ahead and give him a little bit of a spark. So, but I think Khalil Taylor is the most valuable. I think the other guy is Kamari Whitfield. I think right now he ends up going to Florida, but that would be a great piece to put in the class. Along with Torrey Pittman, along with Corey Hadley and he looking very similar, and then of course your two corners to kind of go along with that. That would have been a really great group of defensive backs, and it's not over till it's over. But I think things are kind of looking more and more like he's Florida bound, and Taylor potentially is going to choose the Huskers, but it's not going to be over with him until he signs on the dotted line in December.
If Khalil Taylor does choose Nebraska, in your opinion, why does he do so?
I think that there is tremendous opportunity for him at Nebraska. I think that the staff here at Nebraska has been very upfront and honest with him. I think that's been maybe a part that's been tough to establish, for him with other staffs, and maybe just kind of hearing one thing and seeing another. I think it's obviously helped that Trey Taylor is part of the picture. I think that's a big part, actually. And he knows, and Kamari Whitfield knows Trey Taylor very well as well. So, that part could still play a factor with him. But I think having Trey on board, just the honest language in Nebraska is kind of given to him. It's not been a money deal. It's not, people have been asking a lot about the bag being thrown around and how Colorado got there. It must have been a big bag. And man, I talked to a source last Thursday, right before I put my prediction in, and that person said point blank, money is being overblown in the situation involving Khalil Taylor. Point blank, just said that is not going to be the decision, not be the reason why he makes a decision to go someplace. Money is going to be there no matter where he wants to go, but that is not going to be the deciding factor. I really feel like for him, it's going to come down to the honesty of the Nebraska coaching staff, feeling like it's at home, feeling like he really feels like that's the right place. I think it's a family decision as well. I think the family really likes Nebraska. And I think ultimately, having Trey Taylor, on the team is going to be a big factor for Khalil as well.
We're catching up with Brian Munson of Husker Online on 3 here and after. As Munson, you mentioned a minute ago, but Trey Taylor wins the Elite 11 MVP. Mm-hmm. Is that kind of important, very important, or a massive deal?
I think it's a massive deal, dude. You only have one a year. First of all, I think the other side of it is, I think you have to look at the big picture. Like if you zoom out and think about like where things were at like when Trey Taylor first takes his visit, like he doesn't know if he wants to go to Nebraska. Why don't you want to take this visit? What the heck is here? And then at the end of it, he's like, wow. And then all of a sudden, you know, he's been this huge advocate, peer recruiter. And now all of a sudden, you know, and I think that obviously he was very bona fide before. He's very reputable, you know, as far as like being a 4-star guy and maybe like, hey, you got an Elite 11 unbite. Now you have the Elite 11 MVP. This is the guy, the best quarterback in the nation. And you have the ability now to go back and bring that out and tell people about it. Now, I didn't pay in the dividends I think that people were hoping to, unless Khalil Taylor obviously jumps on board next week, and then I have to go back and retract the statement. But I think it's going to impact years to come. It's going to impact 2028. It's going to impact 2029s. And I think that that's the part that people are losing sight of. I think you need to have a guy like that that's going to be in your program, in your system, have an opportunity for him to kind of, you know, be a factor for a couple of years. Do his thing, obviously, when it comes to recruiting, and be that great ambassador. And I think that that's the part that really makes this a massive deal. He now had impacted the 2026 class. He directly had an impact on the 2027s, and he will now going forward. And he is the elite MVP of the 2027 class. It's a massive deal.
When we look at this class of 27, there's a lot of people feel it's got Hall of Fame worthy level to it. And there's a couple Hall of Famers going into the Nebraska Hall of Fame this weekend that I want to get your thoughts on. Sam Foltz and Levante David have been listed as Hall of Famers. What are your thoughts on those two guys going in?
Well, I was at the Sam Foltz memorial kicking camp this weekend in Grand Mountain. I tell you what, I'm going to have some great stuff in tunnel to talk about Sam and just the people that really were around him during his life and how well he was respected. Levante David it's pretty difficult for me to put somebody, maybe in Ndamukong Suh, but it's really difficult for me to put a better defender in my book of anybody I ever saw with my two eyes. I think Levante David was that good. And obviously he had a tremendous professional career, you know, as well. So, I mean, walking away from the game on that side, getting recognized in the Nebraska Hall of Fame. Another guy getting recognized, Corey Schlesinger, of course, played with him in high school. Fantastic human being, one of the toughest dudes you'll ever see on the football field, without a doubt. Gosh, who else was in that group too? Because there's a couple other ones that I was just absolutely.
Frank Solich is getting it. Frank Solich is getting an award too, but Charles Freyer, Jim Scott, and Corey Ross.
Oh, Corey Ross. That's who I meant to mention Corey because one of the funnest guys to cover out of high school. Number one, and really gets overlooked a ton. In fact, I texted my son because he worked with Mike Hart at Eastern Michigan, and I said, "Hey, so you need to tell Mike Hart that his counterpart's getting into the Hall of Fame there at Nebraska because obviously that Corey beat Mike in the Alamo Bowl."
Right. Well, Munson, we appreciate it. We appreciate your time. We'll catch up with you next week. Thanks for joining us.
Sounds good, man.
Miss Bride segment, check it out on our radio replay page at 1620thezone.com. Tonight it was brought to you by Mad Hatter Auto Repair. Get the royal treatment for your vehicle at two great locations right off of Broadway and Council Bluffs or off 144th in Center. They're going to give you a 7-year, 77,000-mile warranty on any of the work they're doing under your hood. Don't tune up the sound of my voice to get the sound your car is making to go down. Make it go away forever with the royal treatment at Mad Hatter Auto Repair. We'll be right back. We're going to find out what's trending on social media, dive a little bit more into that Hall of Fame class we just mentioned with Brian Munson right here on 1620 Zone. Hey, everybody, it's Jimmy Allen here for Recon Pest Services. If you've been worried about the warm weather showing up and it bringing some of its creepy crawly friends with it because you don't have protection around your house, maybe the invasion has already happened. You need to get a hold of Recon Pest Services tonight. Head over to reconpestservices.com/radio and tell them After Hours sent you because they're going to give you service like they've given me. The last 2 years, we've had protection put around our house. We've had an annual spray done. We haven't seen a creepy crawly since then. Head over to reconpestservices.com and tell them After Hours sent you tonight.
If you're looking for an authentic Italian experience, look no further than Pasta Amore. For 4 decades, Pasta Amore has been keeping the spark alive for couples in the Omaha area with their homemade pasta, made fresh every day. Our hand-picked selection of exceptional wines will put the nightcap on your evening that you expect. Open every day at 4. Stop by Pasta Amore in Rockbrook Village and enjoy dining in the romantic dining room or relax on our shaded patio.
Are you ready to put your business in the starting lineup? Whether you need eye-catching storefront signage, bold seasonal window graphics, or yard signs for your summer campaign, Sign Ovation is your MVP. At Sign Ovation, your brand shows up and wins. From lighting up the Omaha night sky with your logo, to making sure your message jumps out of the grass and grabs your ideal customer's attention, we've got you covered. Don't sit on the bench. Get in the game. Visit signovationomaha.com today.
Wedding season's here, and Jerry Ryan Clothing and Sportswear has been trusted for over 50 years to help you look your best. Whether you're the groom or part of the wedding party, Jerry Ryan can outfit every man in the wedding from head to toe. From custom suits and sport coats to dress shirts, shoes, and accessories, their experienced team will help make sure everyone looks their absolute best on the big day. Visit Jerry Ryan Clothing and Sportswear at 78th and Dodge today, where Omaha's best-dressed men have shopped for over 50 years.
It's 3 a.m. The last episode's over, and you're exhausted and triumphant. The next episode is calling. Sleep is for quitters. Aloe Fiber keeps every binge streaming till sunrise. No buffering, no lag, just smooth streams. Can your internet provider do that? Stream it like you mean it at aloefiber.com/all-in.
In the heart of the Midwest, dependable transportation keeps America moving, and Liquid Trucking prides themselves in being one of the highest quality liquid transport services out of the Midwest, servicing the continental U.S. and Canada. When it comes to hauling agriculture products, food-grade liquids, and hazardous materials, you need a partner you can trust. Our well-qualified tanker drivers, specialty equipment, and strict safety standards ensure every load moves safely, reliably, and are on time. Get a quote today at liquidtrucking.com.
Host is roasting every morning. Host is roasting every day.
How does Host Coffee provide the best coffee for your workplace? By finding the richest and most robust coffee beans from all around the world and bringing them to our Nebraska roastery, where your coffee is roasted fresh and delivered straight to you.
Proudly serving Nebraska since 1972. Host Coffee is always roasting something good for you.
Are you looking for a new career with great benefits? Join Dollar General at the largest distribution center in Blair, Nebraska. Earn up to $23.40 per hour, plus medical, dental, vision, 401k, and attendance and performance incentives. At this state-of-the-art distribution center, you'll be sure to find growth in your career with advancement opportunities, including tuition reimbursement. Apply today at dollargeneral.com/careers. Join DG in their mission of serving others.
Now back to After Hours with Jimmy Allen on 1620 The Zone.
.648 here on Taste Test Tuesday on 1620 The Zone, brought to you by Bellevue University. If you're looking for the ideal college experience this fall, head over to bellevue.edu and register for classes today. As we just mentioned with Brian Munson a minute ago, the members of the 2026 Nebraska Sports Hall of Fame class will be inducted. Important to remember that these are done by years. So Charles Freyer of the 1980s era, offensive lineman Jim Scott of the 90s, fullback Corey Schlesinger of the 90s, and then I-back Corey Ross of the 2000s, linebacker Levante David of the 2010s, and then Sam Foltz, obviously, of the 2010s as well. I'm going to echo the sentiments of Brian Munson a minute ago because I agree with what he just said a minute ago. Like, I think Levante David is the greatest linebacker that this university has ever had. I think he's the second best defensive player. I'm going to put him third. I think he's the third best defensive player behind Ndamukong Suh, Rich Glover, and I put Levante David third overall. Sam Foltz, I mean, it's one of those things that you don't want to put Sam Foltz into the Hall of Fame for the reason you're putting him in, because obviously what he meant to this university, why he was here was a ton, but in his passing as well. But I'll never forget the moment on that senior day where the game ends and a balloon just floated down to the 27-yard line. It's giving me goosebumps just thinking about it right now. And his impact on this team, I think about the Fresno State game where they lined up without a punter back there and took the delay of game penalty in his remembrance. And it's stuff like that stands out and makes you remember that football is more than a game. But I also don't know if you can put enough of a value on what Corey Ross meant to Nebraska in 2004 and 2005. I mean, I shudder to think what the 2004 season looks like without Corey Ross. He's clearly more than worthy of being put into the Hall of Fame. And then for me, I don't know much about Charles Freire or Jim Scott, just full disclosure. I'm only 37 years old, but my very first memory of Nebraska football is that 94 Miami national championship win. And his 2 touchdowns in that game just speak volumes about where this program was at the time and where it's headed. And Jake Janicek has one of those clips for us here. That's, of course, that's your second touchdown against Miami, like I just referenced. And the interesting thing about that call and really the way that game was going was the changing of quarterbacks. Brooke got the offense kind of got stuck a little bit in neutral a little bit with Brooke Behringer, and Miami's defense wanted to account so much for Tommy Frazier running that they overcompensated on the play before this and this play, which is why Tom Osborne went back to the G-belly trap here. And it really added just that extra dynamic of how having to account for Tommy Frazier. Not that Brooke wasn't athletic or that Brooke couldn't run the same way that Tommy did. It's just for whatever reason, it felt like defenses respected Frazier's ability to run out on the perimeter where Brooke was a little more respected between the tackles because of his toughness. The other thing I want to point out about this Hall of Fame class is we are giving another special award to Frank Solich. Now, Frank Solich is in the Nebraska Hall of Fame as a coach and as a player. And I don't know if we've just bought all the way into that we need Frank Solich to remove the curse from Nebraska football at this point. I'm not trying to say he doesn't deserve any kind of award, but to put the man in twice and then give him another notoriety award later in his life, it's kind of like, hey, Frank, we're really, really sorry. And if you could go back to the witch doctor you went to after we fired you after the 2003 season and remove the curse and take the pin out of the cushion, we'd really, really appreciate it. But no, congratulations to all the 5 gentlemen plus Frank Solich going into the Hall of Fame and Frank on receiving his award. If you missed the social media soundbite tonight, check it out on our radio replay page on 1620thezone.com. Tonight it was brought to you by Aloe Fiber. Listen, I haven't seen a buffering circle on my television in 2 years. Why? I have Aloe Fiber. I have a 2 gig network directly up to my house. So when my neighbors come home, my network doesn't throttle down. When my kids jump on their iPad, my network doesn't throttle down. My wife's watching bad crash television. My streaming service is still working great. That streaming service is with DirecTV. Aloe Fiber is the official internet, TV, and mobile provider of the Huskers. We'll be right back, buying or selling on several different topics, including LeBron James. 1620 The Zone.
You should have seen what I wore.
Are you dreaming of your business dominating local Google searches, drawing in customers effortlessly? Look no further. I'm Courtney, the Google gal from Pixel Fire Marketing. Need assistance with your Google business profile? From verification to getting more reviews, fixing maps to tackling annoying Google calls? I've got you covered. Your profile sets you apart and ensures you're the top choice for local customers. Visit fixmygbp.com for our $297 special offer. Visit fixmygbp.com for more details.
Is your car making weird noises? Don't wait until a small issue turns into a big repair bill. Take it to Mad Hatter Auto Repair, where they take the madness out of auto repair. From oil changes and brakes to full diagnostics, their expert team gets you back on the road fast and without breaking the bank. Honest, reliable, local. That's the Mad Hatter difference. Follow the Little White Rabbit to 140th and West Center Road in Omaha or 34th and West Broadway in Council Bluffs. Mad Hatter Auto Repair, where your car gets treated right.
Comic-Con returns to the Mid-America Center July 17th through the 19th for its 10th anniversary. Meet some of your favorite celebrities, including Doug Jones from Hellboy and Star Trek Discovery. Check out tons of artists and vendors. There's cosplay, anime, and so much more. Plus, kids 12 and under get in free with a paid adult. Don't miss the area's largest pop culture event. Comic-Con, July 17th through the 19th. Get tickets now at theoconexpo.com.
Criminal, civil, personal. If you or a loved one is facing a lawsuit, let Williams Law represent you and your family today. With more than 20 years litigation experience in Nebraska, Williams Law will defend you with the dedication you deserve. If you're facing a DUI or if your son or daughter has been accused of a crime, Williams Law is here for you. Call 402-522-6317 to get a free, no-obligation consultation and to get the representation you deserve today.
In a world where Wi-Fi battles rage and bandwidth is never enough, one family dares to connect it all. Work from home, influence all day, stream all night, and game to win. Deadlines, downloads, and dance-offs, all happening under one roof, flawlessly. Can your internet provider do that? Fiber fuel your household at allofiber.com/all-in.
Wedding season's here, and Jerry Ryan Clothing and Sportswear has been trusted for over 50 years to help you look your best. Whether you're the groom or part of the wedding party, Jerry Ryan can outfit every man in the wedding from head to toe. From custom suits and sport coats to dress shirts, shoes, and accessories, their experienced team will help make sure everyone looks their absolute best on the big day. Visit Jerry Ryan Clothing and Sportswear at 78th and Dodge today, where Omaha's best-dressed men have shopped for over 50 years.
Twisted Thunder Fireworks is going to save you big money. You'll find the best variety and the lowest prices as you celebrate the country's 250th anniversary. They have an amazing assortment of red, white, and blue fireworks of all shapes and sizes. Check them out online at twistedthunder.com, where you can watch all our items before you buy. Come see them at 156 in Blondo, West Roads, the Alley in Bellevue, and at Council Bluffs at Horseshoe Casino, as well as several other area locations. That's twistedthunder.com.
Ready to make a positive impact in a young boy's life? Join Big Brothers Big Sisters of the Midlands and become a mentor where you are matched up with a boy in the greater Omaha area. Over 50 boys are waiting for someone like you to guide and inspire them. Visit mentoromaha.org and sign up to make a difference in a boy's life. Don't wait. Make a lasting impact today.
Sports remind us what's possible when we believe in each other. When teamwork and trust matter just as much as talent. On and off the field or court, we're stronger when we work together. That's why at UBT, your money has people who have your back. From financial coaching and goal setting to home loans and business support. Success happens when you've got the right team, and you'll find yours at UBT. Union Bank and Trust, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
Get 2 months free this month at Ace Rent to Own. No credit checks are necessary to buy from us. And now, same as cash deals up to 12 months. Appliances, TVs, tires, furniture, mattresses, and even cell phones. Get the things you need now at Ace Rent to Own. And this month, get 2 months free.
Let me get you up to speed on the service that you need.
At Omaha Transmission, we don't have a warehouse full of transmissions waiting to be sold. We will diagnose and then repair or remanufacture your transmission. It's how we've always done it and how we'll always do it. Treating people the way that we want to be treated is how we do business at Omaha Transmission.
Omaha Transmission, shifting to running smooth.
The real game changer in college athletics, it's coaches. And at Bellevue University, there is an experienced team of coaches who know you both as an athlete and as a person. Plus, there are student coach advisors who are there to provide individualized academic support every step of the way as you progress towards your degree. At Bellevue University, you're not just another athlete. You belong. We're for you and for college sports. Visit BUBruins.com.
Sometimes as dads, I think we're too hard on ourselves. We get down on ourselves on not being able to, we're the providers, but we also have to learn to take care of ourselves. Wrap away, you got to pray for yourself as well as for everybody else, but never forget yourself. Self-love made me a better dad because I realized my worth.
Never stop being a dad.
That's dedication. Find out more at fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
KOZN Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620, The Zone.
Got the second hour here on 1620 The Zone, brought to you by Bellevue University. If you're looking for the ideal college experience this fall, head over to bellevue.edu, register for classes, become a Bruin. Tonight, Jake Janicek is sitting in shotgun for Dan Cantor. Tonight, I'm Jimmy Allen. We haven't heard much from Jake in the first hour. It's time for him to get to buy or sell tonight. Jake, what do we got?
Yes. So first off, Nebraska is sending Justin Evans, Andrew Marshall, and Luke Lindenmeyer to Big Ten Media Days. Buy or sell, this tells us Matt Rule wants his team's identity to be built around toughness, leadership, and experience.
Yeah, I mean, I think that sending a tight end in your centerpiece of your offensive line definitely makes a statement. I also think it's really interesting that Anthony Colandrea wasn't selected for this, not for your typical, well, what does it mean that you didn't send the quarterback reasoning? I think it just sends the message that if you're going to be a part of this team and be a part of this team long term, they're going to put some value on that. And I also think it's interesting because Anthony Colandrea is a really well-spoken young man. They've used the word infectious when they talked about his personality into this offense. So I do think these three choices are interesting for a couple reasons, but I also think they're the identity they want this team to have. So yeah, absolutely. What do you think?
Oh, I think it's definitely a good thing. I mean, Luke Lindenmeyer, definitely someone that's been in the program for a while, and he really shows a lot of experience. I think Justin Evans and Andrew Marshall, and we're talking about curses. Last time that a transfer quarterback do Big Ten Media Days was Jeff Sims, and that didn't go very well. So if we're talking about curses, that could be a thing. But
well, Dylan went last year.
Yeah, Dylan went, and which everything was all good with that. So
well, now he's gone.
He's gone. So maybe
you're onto something.
Maybe
Jake.
I could be onto something with some curses.
What do we got else?
Nebraska's 2026 season opener against Ohio is an 11 a.m. kickoff. Buy or sell, this is actually good for the Huskers because it forces them to be sharp right away.
Yeah, I know a lot of people around here don't like morning kickoffs, and the answer to fix that problem would be better, win more games, and that'll kind of take care of itself. These early games, these non-conference games that aren't against Power 5 opponents, I don't necessarily hate that it's an early kickoff. I don't know if it helps them be sharper. It hasn't, unfortunately, around here, it really hasn't mattered when the kickoff happens. It's fun. I'm actually taking my middle child to this game for her first Nebraska game, so hopefully it's not very competitive. If you know, you know. But yeah, I mean, I'm fine with it. I like 11 a.m. kickoffs because it gives me the rest of the day to watch college football and enjoy the rest of the day. What about you?
I think it's a good thing straight away. I'm wondering, are they going to do like anything with Frank Solich for this Ohio game? Since, you know, he coached Ohio for many years.
The Battle of the
Nebraska.
Frank Bowl?
Yeah.
Better question. If he gets interviewed before the game, does he ask who he's rooting for?
Ooh, that is a good one. That'd be interesting for sure.
He would ride the fence as hard as he possibly could. What else we got?
If Nebraska starts 3-0 in non-conference play, buy or sell fans should expect the Huskers to be ranked before Big Ten play really gets rolling.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the NCAA video game thinks they should be the ranked 24th in the rankings and that. Yeah, I mean, I think anybody that's undefeated through their first three games should probably expect to be ranked at some point. I don't think it matters as much in the 12-team playoff as it would in the 24-team playoff era. With that being said, you're playing Bowling Green in Ohio, and it's
North Dakota.
It's not like you're playing the who's who. Like, there's no Virginia Tech, there's no Colorado, there's no Oklahoma in this non-conference slate. So, should you feel like we should be ranked? Sure, but it's just like any other. It's going to matter how it looks, right? Like if Nebraska's winning those games by what they're probably going to be favored by, if not more, yeah, absolutely they should.
Yeah, I definitely think so. If they are able to actually show like, hey, they kind of made a jump against some of these teams. I definitely think if you win your Big Ten opener against Michigan State, getting on Maryland, if you're 5-0, you're definitely should be ranked by Indiana.
I'll tell you right now, if they're 5-0, there's no chance they're not ranked. But I will say this: talk about those first three games. You come out and you beat Ohio 24-14. There's 0% chance you're ranked.
Yeah, but the fans will not be happy about that. So next up, and I'm excited about this one, Sean Eichhorst is rumored to be to join the Wisconsin job. Buy or sell that this is digging the whiskey grave even deeper.
Oh, I buy. This is sports heaven for me. I don't hate any other school or any other team more than I hate Wisconsin. I don't think I've hated an athletic director more than I hated Sean Eichhorst when he was in charge here. Watching them continuously make the mistakes that Nebraska made that really ruined this program and set it back about a decade, and just continuing to follow down that path makes me so happy. Say what you want about Texas, say what you want about Oklahoma. I don't care. I hate Wisconsin more than any of those programs. I hate that fan base. There's a lot of hatred for the Wisconsin program, but I just don't understand how your football program being in the disarray that it is right now because of the decisions you've made. And when one of your Big Ten foes and Big Ten rivals had this guy kind of be the laughing stock of the program for about 2 seasons and basically watched him tuck his tail and walk out the door. And he went, that's him. That's the guy we want. Couldn't happen to a better program.
Oh, I definitely, when I saw that that notification pop on my phone, I audibly laughed for a solid minute seeing Sean Eichhorst get this job. And like you said, you've seen him in the Big Ten as an athletic director.
You know what it looks like.
He's proven to not be good in this conference at all. So Wisconsin's kind of falling down.
Can I make a donation to get him hired? I'd love to do so.
It'd be fantastic. Moving on to soccer here. If the U.S. men's national team beats Bosnia and is it Herzegovina?
Yep.
In the World Cup round of 32, buy or sell, this would officially make this the biggest soccer moment in modern American history.
Without a doubt, in my opinion. They've never seen success like this. I mean, they probably should be 3-0, and I talked about this last week. I thought them losing that game meant a lot of something. How much different do you feel about the squad if they are 3-0 heading into this matchup? There's a possibility they win the next 2. And I'm really, if that happens, and I think it is a possibility, if that were to happen, I am genuinely intrigued to see this country's response to that success. We saw what it looked like around here when the women won the World Cup. I think for the men and where they've been and where they are now, it would be an equal response. I mean, soccer blew up in this country specifically for girls and women when that happened. I will be really intrigued to see the long-lasting effects if they can find a way to make it to the Final 8, the Final 4. I don't think they're going to win it. I don't think there's any world in which they win it. But make a deep run. It will be really intriguing to see the country's reaction to this team and the sport specifically.
And it will definitely be a change. I mean, this has probably been the best U.S. men's national team that we've seen in a long time.
Without a doubt.
And only with this, now you kind of have that confidence because we saw how well they played against Paraguay, beating them 4-1 in the start of the group stage, and then seeing Paraguay go in and beat Germany, one of the top teams in this World Cup. It's definitely going to be a confidence booster. And if they're able to get past this one and Belgium, who they'll probably play in the next round, hasn't really looked that good, I definitely could see them making a deep run. So definitely buying on this.
Yeah, and like more than them winning, and it's not even like that they're winning World Cup games. It's they're winning World Cup games on American soil too. So
we love it.
It's gonna be really interesting to see the residual effects.
So we're moving to the NBA here. LeBron James has informed the Lakers he is planning on leaving them. Buy or sell that this is still exciting news in 2026.
Yeah, listen, I mean, he's still kind of the face of the league, right? So I guess I buy a little bit. Is it as exciting as it would have been 10 years ago? Absolutely not. But with that being said, I think it's really interesting that Bronny got his guaranteed deal yesterday, and now this news comes out about LeBron leaving today. And I don't know if anybody has ever been worse about reading a room than LeBron James, because the betting favorite to land his services are now the Golden State Warriors. Did you not see how bad KD got killed for ring chasing at Golden State? Now it's kind of cool because there's he was a rival and now he's on this team aspect of it. But that's cool for Steph. That's cool for Draymond. You look really soft if you're LeBron James if you go to Golden State now. I think it'd be way more interesting and intriguing from a storyline standpoint and from I think you'd have a better chance to win standpoint. He went to Miami because he already had the Renaissance and went back to Cleveland and won a ring. If he could go back to Miami and win another one, obviously, I don't know if they've got the financial stability to do that with all the pieces that they've added. We just talked about the intrigue of men's soccer. Like, what would the interest level be in South Beach if LeBron came back?
It would be insane. I mean,
you would think,
Giannis
right?
and him.
Yeah, you would think,
crazy.
right? But like, there wasn't that jersey burning. You left us. You were one of us. Like there wasn't the Dan Gilbert of it all when he left Cleveland, like he did when he left Miami. And doesn't it kind of like if you put your ear out of your window driving your car right now, you can almost hear a sigh of relief from Orange County and the folks over in LA right now that he's gone. I really believe there was I don't know if it's a hidden secret or just a really bad kept secret. I don't know if Lakers fans liked rooting for LeBron because
definitely not towards the end.
Well, not even that, but there was always that Kobe was better than you. You'll never be the winner that Kobe was. And then he comes to your team and you're like, oh, yay, we got past this prime LeBron. And yeah, sure, he won a championship. If you want to call the bubble championship a championship, I'll allow you to do it. It's there should be an asterisk next to it, but there's not. It's fine. It is what it is. But like, there's talk about putting LeBron's jersey in the rafters and like putting him on the same level of Kobe and Magic. And I just don't feel that way about LeBron in a Lakers jersey. What about you?
I mean, I definitely agree with you. I'm not part of that party. I do think it was a tough championship in the bubble, which he did get that for him, but that's a conversation for another day.
That's a different podcast.
Yeah, different podcast. But I definitely understand where you're coming from because he was walking into a place that like already had legends. He wasn't the legend. I mean, Miami kind of had that, but he became a legend there.
Well, they didn't have like, I don't like, say what you want about the Pat Riley Heat and Lonzo Mourning and all the great teams before. There wasn't any kind of notoriety or global wide fame that the Heatles had. When that happened, like they threw a ticker tape parade and they had the big press conference and not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, all of that went along with it. And then they got beat by Dirk. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and yes, they won championships, but it wasn't to the level that, I mean, people thought Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, and LeBron James were 3 of the 4 best players on the planet at that time. And they set a standard of precedence for the way the league shaped super teams for the better part of a decade and a half after that. So to say that he had that type of leverage or attention grabbing or needle moving when he got to LA is just a lie. And I think a lot of it is because of how it went in South Beach. Now, was he still the best player on the planet for the vast majority of the time he was in LA? Yeah, probably. Did it really matter? Not really. So I don't know. Is it big news in 2026? Sure, just because there's not a ton of star power in the NBA right now. Is he going to be in wherever he ends up for more than 2 seasons? Absolutely not. Hey, if you missed this segment tonight, check it out on our radio replay page on 1620thezone.com. Tonight, it was brought to you by Marrow, the biggest hidden gem in all of Gretna. If you want to try a bunch of new menu items, try the pastrami cheeseburger. We had it tonight. Chef Jared and the crew were nice enough to cut it in half, so Jake and I each got a half of it. I'm a little jealous because I wanted that whole thing. It was absolutely delicious. Also, the chef's cut steak, fantastic. It's already cut for you. You don't got to worry about cutting it with a knife because you don't have to. It's going to fall off your fork and melt in your mouth. It is incredible. Marrow is one of those places where the food keeps you coming back. Once you get there, the open concept bar is the reason you stick around. The awesome burlap overalls worn by the bartenders gives that old-time speakeasy style feel. Check out Marrow in Gretna tonight. We open up the bar to you when we come back on 1620 The Zone.
Weather from KETV Newswatch 7 is brought to you on 1620 The Zone by Certified Transmission.
Are we going to have one the next time?
Partly cloudy, a little hot yet this evening. Temperatures still up close to 90 degrees. Later tonight, there is a chance we get a shower or thunderstorm and a low temperature down in the low to mid 70s. And a mix of clouds and sun on Wednesday. Again, a shower or thunderstorm chance with a high in the low 90s. I am Chief Meteorologist Bill Randy from KETV Newswatch 7.
Wedding season's here, and Jerry Ryan Clothing and Sportswear has been trusted for over 50 years to help you look your best. Whether you're the groom or part of the wedding party, Jerry Ryan can outfit every man in the wedding from head to toe. From custom suits and sport coats to dress shirts, shoes, and accessories, their experienced team will help make sure everyone looks their absolute best on the big day. Visit Jerry Ryan Clothing and Sportswear at 78th and Dodge today, where Omaha's best-dressed men have shopped for over 50 years.
Criminal, civil, personal. If you or a loved one is facing a lawsuit, let Williams Law represent you and your family today. With more than 20 years litigation experience in Nebraska, Williams Law will defend you with the dedication you deserve. If you're facing a DUI or if your son or daughter has been accused of a crime, Williams Law is here for you. Call 402-522-6317 to get a free, no-obligation consultation and to get the representation you deserve today.
Is your car making weird noises? Don't wait until a small issue turns into a big repair bill. Take it to Mad Hatter Auto Repair, where they take the madness out of auto repair. From oil changes and brakes to full diagnostics, their expert team gets you back on the road fast and without breaking the bank. Honest, reliable, local. That's the Mad Hatter difference. Follow the Little White Rabbit to 140th and West Center Road in Omaha or 34th and West Broadway in Council Bluffs. Mad Hatter Auto Repair, where your car gets treated right.
Are you ready for the game changer of the day? Bellevue University has a new state-of-the-art 72,000 square foot fieldhouse featuring premium courts, generous fan seating, top-tier locker rooms, dedicated athletic training, and a strength and conditioning space, plus a whole lot more. It's not just a venue, it's a home court advantage. We're for you and for college sports. Visit BUBruins.com.
Oh, Comic-Con returns to the Mid-America Center July 17th through the 19th for its 10th anniversary. Meet some of your favorite celebrities, including Doug Jones from Hellboy and Star Trek Discovery. Check out tons of artists and vendors. There's cosplay, anime, and so much more. Plus, kids 12 and under get in free with a paid adult. Don't miss the area's largest pop culture event. Oh, Comic-Con, July 17th through the 19th. Get tickets now at theoconexpo.com.
Get 2 months free this month at Ace Rent to Own. No credit checks are necessary to buy from us. And now, same as cash deals up to 12 months. Appliances, TVs, tires, furniture, mattresses, and even cell phones. Get the things you need now at Ace Rent to Own. And this month, get 2 months free.
Let me get you up to speed on the service that you need.
At Omaha Transmission, we don't have a warehouse full of transmissions waiting to be sold. We will diagnose and then repair or remanufacture your transmission. It's how we've always done it and how we'll always do it. Treating people the way that we want to be treated is how we do business at Omaha Transmission.
Omaha Transmission, shifting to running smooth.
You are listening to After Hours with Jimmy Allen on 1620 The Zone.
Take it easy, man. Open bar, dude. Oh!
One bourbon, one Scotch, one beer.
6 Schlitz, whatever's free.
It is an open bar on a Tuesday night. Jimmy Allen and Jake Janicek with you here on 1620 The Zone. We're going to get the Omaha South Packers football team on the other side of this segment. Before we get there, we open up the show to you. It's not too late. Get your questions in at After Hour 1620. Punch in for the night shift tonight on YouTube. Shout out to Patrick, Captain Juan, J-Man, all you guys streaming with us alongside of us. Great conversation going on behind the bar tonight. Appreciate you guys punching in tonight. That's Jake Janicek. I'm Jimmy Allen. These are your questions coming into us tonight. First of all, Will on Facebook said, so speaking of which, I saw you had some of the Omaha South guys coming in tonight. This is a great question, Will, by the way. I don't think we've ever been, in 7 years of doing this, I don't think we've ever been asked this question. He said, I noticed you don't always have the, quote, star players come in. How do you determine which players come on the show? Thanks for all you do for high school sports. Will, thank you for listening, A, first of all. But B, we leave it 100% up to the coaches. We've never asked for a player or players to come in. We leave it, I always tell the coaches, whoever you think best represents your program and whoever you'd like to represent you on air, please bring those guys. Because a lot of times maybe the star players are younger too, and they want to get the seniors the exposure before they leave high school and things like that. So that's how we do not determine at all which players come in. So we leave that up to the coaches and the programs themselves to decide who brings those guys in. If you know on Twitter wants to know, who should have Nebraska targeted through the transfer portal window at running back after them? He wrote, who should they, not who should have they, Nebraska target the transfer portal window at running back after the Mekhi Nelson news came out. I mean, like I talked about the Shamar Brown situation earlier, and I mean, you're not going to get a guy that's got over 500 carries at a Division I Power 5 level at this point. And I think Brian Munson earlier was right. He said that he puts 0% chance on them doing so. I don't know if I'd go that low. If the coaching staff has been honest to this point, and they do feel like they're very comfortable with those guys in that room, the answer is absolutely nobody. with that being said, I just don't know how you can. Do you think they go after an FCS guy or anybody that has the ability to contribute to this room?
I just think at this point, you really just kind of have to run with the guys that you got and trust in, like we said earlier in the show, Jeepway and the offensive line, just kind of hope that they can kind of help with run blocking, and the guys that you have in the room right now, trust in them. And hopefully a lot of them, like we said, Quentin Ives, he's been in the program. Maybe he can make a jump, but I think you just have to roll with what you got right now.
You got a guy in Floyd Chalk IV who previously played at Grambling State, played at San Jose State, has over 1,100 rushing yards in his time frame there. You got Mackenzie McGill from Abilene Christian, who a lot of people thought was maybe the best FCS player in of the bunch, who transferred to North Texas. I don't think there's anybody still out there that you're gonna be able to go out and grab and just say, okay, this is gonna be the workhorse guy. I just don't see it. We'll go to more of your questions. Charles on Facebook wants to know, who's your dark horse pick for the Group of 5 team this year? Listen, I know they lost their coach, but I was really impressed by their defense last year. I got South Florida. I think South Florida is a team that has enough athletes on it that's going to return enough guys that you just got to catch lightning in a bottle and be a very talented team. And I think they have the ability and a very favorable schedule. I have South Florida as my dark horse pick. Not my favorite, but the teams that I think can maybe the surprise pick to make it to the college football playoff.
I think my surprise team would probably be Wyoming. I would say North Dakota State, but unfortunately,
you and Dan Campen have been hanging out way too much.
We've been hanging out way too much. I would say North Dakota State, but I don't think they've gotten approved yet to move on.
They have. Yes, they can.
That would be one I would definitely look at because we really don't know how they're going to look coming into a full entire.
Them
FBS
and Sacramento
schedule.
State both have been fully processed to play for the college football playoff or a bowl game.
But I don't think they can make that jump. But just with Wyoming,
be incredible, wouldn't it? Can you imagine if North Dakota State in their
It'd be
first
insane.
attempt made the college football playoff? That would be incredible.
I'll just throw that as my dark horse pick just for the vibes.
I'll say this: that happens. That's the sports story of the year.
1,000%.
Outside of something astronaut like COVID happening again, it's me knocking
Good knock
on
on the
wood.
wood.
I think that. But the other reason I picked South Florida, I didn't mention this. They got a very favorable schedule. I mean, Florida International at Army, Delaware State at Bowling Green, Temple at UTSA, Kent State, UAB East Carolina, Memphis at Florida Atlantic, Tulane. You beat Tulane at home and go undefeated on the road. There's a really good chance you're the Group of 5 representative.
And Tulane could be ranked at that rate too.
We'll go non-sports question here from Greg on Facebook, who's just kind of the king of the open bar at this point. And Jake, I'm excited to get your answer on this. Of all the television series of all time, if you could only watch one for the rest of your life, you couldn't watch any other TV show, and you had to start from the beginning, what would it be?
I'm probably going to go with a basic pick, but I just love this show so much. It's got to be Breaking Bad by far.
Vince Gilligan is a genius.
It's so good. And
so
every time I watch it, I feel like just something new. I just find out every time. It's fantastic.
I'm pretty sure you and I have had this conversation about that show before. And honestly, it was either going to be Breaking Bad or The Office, because I've probably watched The Office all the way through more than any other TV show of all time. I'm going to go a little bit out of the box, though. You know this about me. I'm a pro wrestling fan. I'm going to go with Monday Night Raw. And here's why. It's an episodic television show, so this counts. Yes, I may be breaking the rules a little bit. I don't care. But it dates back to 1995 all the way through now. You can't find a longer running episodic television show that goes that long. So I have a longevity and I have a restart. And listen, there's a time period where pro wrestling was the hottest thing on the planet during the mid-90s. So you've got that explosion period. You've also got a lot of downtime. But that's where I'd go with Raw as my answer. We're going to get to the Omaha South Packers as no other questions are coming in here. We appreciate everybody getting your questions. And it is still a Taste Test Tuesday. Don't forget to head over to our Twitter page and share the Marrow tweet. We will also still be giving out that $25 gift card tonight. If you missed this segment, check out our radio replay page on 1620thezone.com. It was brought to you by Jerry Ryan Clothing and Sportswear. There's a big birthday this weekend. Did you hear about it? America's turned the big 250, and Jerry Ryan has the best when it comes to red, white, and blue for you. Different gear from Mizzen & Main, Johnny O, Peter Millar, Cutter and Buck, Roan Pants, wherever you need your best red, white, and blue gear, you're going to find it at 78th and Dodge. It's been Jerry Ryan's been dressing Omaha for over 50 years. DeJuan Johnson and the Omaha South Packers are in studio when we come back here on 1620 Zone. Hey, everybody, it's Jimmy Allen here for Aloe Fiber. Yeah, it's the dog days of summer right now. No, there's not football on your television, not any good one, not any good football anyway. But if you want to be ready for game day, if you want to stop worrying about buffering circles while you're streaming the games this year, we've got the solution for you. It's a 2 gig network directly to your house. What does that mean? That means it doesn't matter how many people on your network. You're not going to see any slowing down of your service. You're not going to have to worry about if your kids are on their iPad. You don't have to worry about the dance party going on in your downstairs basement. All you have to worry about is your football streaming on your television this fall. Head over to allofiber.com/Husker Radio and sign up for services of the Huskers today.
Are you dreaming of your business dominating local Google searches, drawing in customers effortlessly? Look no further. I'm Courtney, the Google gal from Pixel Fire Marketing. Need assistance with your Google business profile? From verification to getting more reviews, fixing maps to tackling annoying Google calls? I've got you covered. Your profile sets you apart and ensures you're the top choice for local customers. Visit fixmygbp.com for our $297 special offer. Visit fixmygbp.com for more details.
Ready to make a positive impact in a young boy's life? Join Big Brothers Big Sisters of the Midlands and become a mentor where you are matched up with a boy in the greater Omaha area. Over 50 boys are waiting for someone like you to guide and inspire them. Visit mentoromaha.org and sign up to make a difference in a boy's life. Don't wait. Make a lasting impact today.
Wedding season's here, and Jerry Ryan Clothing and Sportswear has been trusted for over 50 years to help you look your best. Whether you're the groom or part of the wedding party, Jerry Ryan can outfit every man in the wedding from head to toe. From custom suits and sport coats to dress shirts, shoes, and accessories, their experienced team will help make sure everyone looks their absolute best on the big day. Visit Jerry Ryan Clothing and Sportswear at 78th and Dodge today, where Omaha's best-dressed men have shopped for over 50 years.
It's 3 a.m. The last episode's over, and you're exhausted and triumphant. The next episode is calling. Sleep is for quitters. Allo Fiber keeps every binge streaming till sunrise. No buffering, no lag, just smooth streams. Can your internet provider do that? Stream it like you mean it at allofiber.com/all-in.
Is your car making weird noises? Don't wait until a small issue turns into a big repair bill. Take it to Mad Hatter Auto Repair, where they take the madness out of auto repair. From oil changes and brakes to full diagnostics, their expert team gets you back on the road fast and without breaking the bank. Honest, reliable, local. That's the Mad Hatter difference. Follow the Little White Rabbit to 140th and West Center Road in Omaha or 34th and West Broadway in Council Bluffs. Mad Hatter Auto Repair, where your car gets treated right.
Hey, neighbor. Oh, my gosh. Is your energy bill sky high again, too?
Not anymore. My old windows were so leaky, it was as if I had a window open while my AC was running. So I replaced them with Champion windows.
Champion windows. Do you like them?
Like them. I love them. And they're guaranteed for a lifetime. They made the whole process easy. I just went online and booked my free estimate all by myself. And I got a great deal where I could buy 2 replacement windows and get 2 free.
A lifetime guarantee and buy 2 windows and get 2 free? Does that mean if I need 8 windows, I can buy 4 and get 4 free?
Sure does.
What if I buy 6? Do I get 6 free?
Yep.
Or if I get 10 windows, do I get 10 free?
Just call Champion Windows already.
If your windows are drafty, ugly, or broken, now is the best time to replace your home's windows with new Champion Windows. Book your free estimate online at championsavenow.com or call 877-GO-CHAMPION right now. All discounts apply to our regular prices. Select styles apply. Minimum purchase required. Cannot be combined with other advertised offers. See store or website for details.
Now back to After Hours with Jimmy Allen on 1620 The Zone.
7:30 on a Taste Test Tuesday at 1620 The Zone, brought to you by Bellevue University. If you look at the ideal college experience, head over to bellevue.edu. No classes on Friday. The majority of schooling done online, and you can have live sports right on your campus. Check out bellevue.edu for more details today. I think it's a little-known fact. If you're in the journalism world, you're not supposed to root. You're not supposed to have favorites. Jake, you know what I'm talking about here. But my alma mater's in studio. The Omaha South Packers head coach Juwan Johnson is with us in studio. He's brought Ben Crawley and Diego Sanchez with him, plus his defensive coordinator Adam Wildrick and running back coach Cole Sharf. Even though I asked him not to come, he's here anyway. We'll get to that in a minute. Coach, thanks for making time for us tonight. Coming in.
No problem. Thank you for having us.
We talked last year about this program and what defines success for it. And you had a couple different parameters. Win-loss record didn't go the way you wanted to. 0-9 a year ago. You guys had a murderer's row of a schedule last season. What will look different? Not maybe from a win-loss standpoint, but in this year, in this program, what will look different compared from a year ago to this year?
I think the biggest takeaway that we got from last year is that they survived it. You only get as strong as the pain you go through, the experiences you go through. That's what's going to define you.
Sure.
and give you an outlook on what your future is going to be.
Sure.
You know, if it was easy, nothing easy produces good fruit. You know, sometimes you got to go through some things that's going to make you tough. And, you know, my kids survived it. They grew from it. And then I think this year is going to be a defining moment for the program to show that it's not about how many people you can bring in, it's who you got there.
Sure.
So it's just building. And I think it's going back to old school coaching and looking for kids that just want to play football and just love the game of football. That's period.
Let's talk about from an on the field standpoint. What was successful last year that you can make portable to this year?
Just going through it, just surviving. You know,
Sure.
we walked into Elkhorn South. One of the greatest takeaways from us as a staff is talking to that staff and just the confidence they gave us and the self-esteem to build that we got from them.
Guy's a great dude.
From like a colleague standpoint,
Yeah.
is, you know, that we was like one of the toughest teams he didn't seen from South in a while. And it kind of boosted our coaching staff up to say, you know what, we're in the right direction. So that's one of the things that we're going to take from that last season.
You guys have seen some of that production already. A pretty successful off-season camp. Obviously, those games don't matter yet. But,
Right.
But when we talk about improvement, what have you seen from this team that has to improve before week 1 gets here till now?
You know, I think we're in a good spot as a team. You know, the schedule is favorable for us. We don't have a bunch of top 10s coming out the gate.
Sure.
That allows us to grow a little bit and find confidence in who we are, to build our esteem, build up our esteem, be more responsible with the ball, and be systematically in how we're going to execute things. So we're just growing as a program, and you know, I think for the first couple of weeks, it's going to be games that we can be very competitive in.
Big buzzword around the NFL and college football is identity and establish an identity. What do you want the identity of Omaha South football to be?
You know what? It's grit. Southside is all about grit. It's not about, you know, looking for somebody to come and save you. We don't look for saviors.
Sure.
That's one of my quotes from last year. Nobody's coming to save you. What are you going to do to fix the problem?
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got to grow up, and you know, you guys got whatever you need to be successful, and that's kind of what got us through the whole season last year.
Is that a big deal for you? I can't help but hear the conviction in your voice when you the onus and the responsibility on the team to self-identify and fix those issues. Is that a big deal for you?
Well, yeah. Honestly, you know, when you come from a program of kids who are learning the sport and getting to love the sport, they was never in a position where they had to carry a team.
Sure.
So now they're learning how to carry a team, how to be the leaders, how to push through, and then bring their teammates along with them. And along with that, you're going to see from when Diego talks and when Ben talks how they have grown over the last 4 years being in the program.
Hey, listen, leave the radio transition to the radio guys. Because let's talk to a couple of those guys you brought with you. Ben Crawley is with us tonight. Ben, go ahead and step up and grab the microphone. You really became one of the focal points of this offense a year ago. You had the big performance against North Star. How did this team, how does your role change on this team from last year to this year?
I say that like my role, it only improved like in my expectations for like what I can do and what I'm going to do. Like my role has only changed in a positive way and just like higher expectations.
You play running back for this team. How have you seen this offense evolve from a year ago to this year?
I say we incorporated a lot more passing and stuff into it, as well as like we really refined our plays and our techniques for how we're going to be doing it this season.
Does that mean you got to be a little bit more dynamic in the pass game?
Yes, sir, because I feel like last year, like the reason our run game was there, it's just we didn't really have the passing game. So like people would stack 8 in the box, so it wouldn't really work. Now that we have the passing game feature, I say like it'll set up our run game a lot more.
Obviously, maybe the passing yards or receiving yards goes into this equation. Have you set any personal goals for yourself this offseason?
Really, my only goal is improvement. I don't have any specific goals, just to be better than I was last year.
Coach Cole told me you were going to go for 2,000 on the ground. I thought maybe you were going to bring that up. But anyway, what does life after high school look like for you?
Personally, I want to become a firefighter and give back to my community.
That's awesome, man. Well, good luck with that. Good luck this season. Thanks for being here tonight. Diego, we'll go over to you. Diego Sanchez is with us tonight as well. There's 2 of you guys in this room that are seniors. What does it mean to the group of 27 to be the class at Omaha South that makes this program a winner?
I mean, it means a lot to us, you know. As a class, we want to leave this program better than what we found it. I really want this class to be like remembered as the turning point of the program. So,
turning point in this offense starts in the middle, and that's where you play at. You're the center for this offensive line. How do you handle making adjustments in the game, or maybe calling out plays, or helping the 4 guys around you be better?
So obviously that's my job.
Sure.
You know, every defense gives different looks. So, you know, just practicing on like our plays and calls and how we can adjust to different like fronts, stuff like that.
You've had a busy summer. You've attended a couple of recruiting camps, a couple of football
Yes, sir.
progress camps as well. You're at SMSU. You worked with Coach Bober at the Bober Academy. What did you take from those experiences?
The experiences were great. You know, at SMSU, not only was it just competing against other players and learning what football is outside of Nebraska, but it was also like getting a feel what college is to be like a college athlete and stuff like that.
Do you have a favorite story from either one of those experiences that you could share on air? It's got to be appropriate.
I mean, I could.
Okay, well,
But-
you know, let's jump there. Obviously, you've had some of the NAIA level attention.
Yeah.
A couple schools giving you a call. What does life after high school look like for you?
Life after high school, you know, I definitely want to go to college to play football, also to pursue my academic career. Also,
Do you know what you want to study?
It's between business or mechanical engineering.
Well, if you engineer something wrong and it catches on fire, you can give Ben a call and he can come put it out. So it'll be a win-win scenario for everybody. Hey, Dio, thanks for being here, man. We
thank you.
appreciate it. Coach Waldrick, we'll talk to you. And again, we're catching up the Omaha South football team. We're talking defensive coordinator Adam Waldrick now. Obviously, we spent a lot of time tonight talking about the offense because the guys you brought with you. But there's a lot of discussion about the schedule. Coach Johnson's brought it up. It's kind of the conversation because it's almost the exact opposite of what you guys were facing from a year ago. How do you make this about every Friday night individually and not about what the length of the schedule looks like?
I think that Coach Johnson brought it up, talking about leadership. You know, we've got two seniors here. You've got Jaden, we've got Izzy, Nase, Ricardo, Jack, Miguel, Booth, Johnny Danger. I'm sorry, guys, if I forgot anybody. What'd you say, bud? All of these seniors are really taking it to heart, you know, to see them step up. You know, they put together pre-practice, so they're actually practicing before the coaches even hit the field. We went to locker room camp, getting on the bus. It was all business like. So, you know, it's just these young men taking it upon themselves to be, hey, it's week one. We'll move on to week two after week one and so on.
Coach Johnson brought up the experience factor from a year ago and just some of the ways to make improvement. How do you guys as a coaching staff take environments like the locker room camp? And it's still weird to me. It's not called the Outback camp, but I'll let it go. How do you guys take those experience and try to get better when it's not a Friday night coming up? There's not another game at the end of it. You got to figure out a way to implement what's happening in June before August even gets here.
You know, locker room was awesome. You know, we could sit down and show these young men, you know, game film or practice film and be like, hey, this is, you know, I had a senior that is not in this room right now that during a walkthrough for a locker room camp messed up. And I had a sophomore call him out, be like, no, man, that's not what you're supposed to be doing on this blitz package. Yeah, just, you know, I mean, treating it like a Friday night. That's what it was. You know, like I said, we got on the bus rolling over to Burke to scrimmage a couple teams, and it was a business. We were on a business trip.
Does the lack of two-a-days nowadays and the experience of being able to have that when it is a little warmer outside now maybe help strengthen a team where you may not get that experience when there aren't the ability to work a little harder?
You know, I don't think so. I think that these guys put in enough work. You know, that 2 days. I don't think that. You know, we've got some jokes among the coaches when we actually hit practice. That practice is easier during the school year than it is when we're in locker room camp.
Sure.
So, I don't think that's a huge impact at all.
All right, well, Coach, thanks for your time tonight. We
Thank you.
appreciate it. We'll go to Cole Sharp, the running back coach at Omaha South, that's with us tonight. It's your second year in this program as well. How does the running back room evolve in year two when you got a guy like Ben that's a senior, but you got some underclassmen underneath him as well?
I think just overall as a whole, we've evolved, like just knowing football IQ, everyone across the board smarter, more commitment into getting better every single day at practice and believing in what us coaches are teaching. I think that really helped, and seeing success.
What's something you learned about the running back position in your first year as a coach that maybe you maybe didn't know or weren't fully aware of before you got the headset on?
That it's more about like fundamentals and being good at what you're supposed to do, the small things, and knowing your assignments, etc., stuff like that.
The Jets going to win more than 3 games this year?
Yes. Super Bowl, baby, Super Bowl.
Okay, we're not going to go that far. Right? Guys, thanks for your night, Coach. We'll go back over to you to wrap this thing up again. We're catching up with DeJuan Johnson, the Omaha South Packers football program here on After Hours. Who are some people behind the scenes that maybe aren't going to show up in a stat sheet or be noticeable on the sidelines that deserve credit for making this thing go at Omaha South?
You talking about players wise?
No, just staff members or people in the community, people within the school.
I would say, after our first game, and had a couple guys reach out to me, and they kind of talked to other coaches because there's good networking going on.
Sure.
And they like the direction that we're going with the program.
Mm-hmm.
So I had Steve Warren reach out to me at Warren Academy, and he offered, if you guys want to come out and train, come on out here and train. He worked out some prices, and it was good for us. It benefited us. The guys got to get out there and get next to guys who are scholarship players and see that they can match up or that they're close to matching up. See the work ethic, things like that, more like a big brother thing. So
yeah,
I got to utilize Steve Warren and then Bober Academy. He's
Sure.
an alumni. Obviously he works at another school, but he still wanted to make sure that he took care of home base, and he offered to train some guys. We utilized that. So the community really showed up and supported us, and they liked the direction that the program is going.
What about from an administrative standpoint? Is there anybody that deserves a little bit of credit as well? Don't say Mike Greenwall. She gets enough credit on the station anyway. And I know you're probably using the angle to get a raise too. That's fine, but
it's everybody in the building. Everybody
Sure.
likes what's going on, from Serena to Greenwash,
Sure.
Bojanski, just sitting around talking to everybody, and it's starting to become for me, a family.
Sure.
I was an outsider, now I'm getting in there in the building. So they started to treat me with more respect and seeing that, I'm really true to what I want to do for the program and for the school. So the principal embraces and sees that everything that's going on, and trust that what we're doing is for the positive reflection on the school.
any thoughts on the way the new Hall of Fame wall looks when you walk into the building?
I think it's a nice gesture that we're trying to bring that culture into the building. On Friday nights, if you look at our walkout, our walkout highlight video has all the guys that play for South High School. So you'll see pictures of guys that may not be known or have their face or talked about in a long time, but they're on that screen when we walk out. One of the most notable is that's why it skips my name right now.
Shane Killian.
Shane Killian, him, Briscoe. And then seeing that and brings them into the stadium. I
Sure.
think that it's all about, I told our kids last year, play for something greater. Those guys that have done it here at South, they play for something greater, and you guys got to live up to that before you guys start talking about scholarships and things of that nature. Live up to those expectations first.
That's the head football coach at Omaha South, DeJuan Johnson. Guys, I appreciate you guys being here. We'd love to have you back in when you guys qualify for state.
Yes, sir.
All right. If you missed the Packers segment, check it out on our radio replay page at 1620thezone.com. Is brought to you tonight by Mad Hatter Auto Repair. Don't turn up the sound of my voice to make your car stop making that awful sound. Get a 7-year, 77,000-mile warranty. One of the two great locations, Mad Hatter Auto Repair, 144th and Center, are right off Broadway in Council Bluffs. Give your car the royal treatment tonight at Mad Hatter Auto Repair. We'll be right back, wrapping up the show, giving you our closing arguments of the night right here on 1620 The Zone.
The real game changer in college athletics, it's coaches. And at Bellevue University, there is an experienced team of coaches who know you both as an athlete and as a person. Plus, there are student coach advisors who are there to provide individualized academic support every step of the way as you progress towards your degree. At Bellevue University, you're not just another athlete. You belong. We're for you and for college sports. Visit BUBruins.com.
The weather's warming up, meaning ants, wasps, and termites are teaming up to invade your home. It's time to call in a better team. At Recon Pest Services, we stop the bugs before they take over. But our commitment doesn't stop at your front door. We care for your property like it's our own because our community is our family. We're dedicated to making Omaha better by supporting local youth sports, events, and community causes. Partner with a pest control company that truly cares. Visit ReconPestServices.com today and stay protected all season long.
Are you ready to put your business in the starting lineup? Whether you need eye-catching storefront signage, bold seasonal window graphics, or yard signs for your summer campaign, Signovation is your MVP. At Signovation, your brand shows up and wins. From lighting up the Omaha night sky with your logo, to making sure your message jumps out of the grass and grabs your ideal customer's attention, we've got you covered. Don't sit on the bench. Get in the game. Visit SignovationOmaha.com today.
In a world where Wi-Fi battles rage and bandwidth is never enough, one family dares to connect it all. Work from home, influence all day, stream all night, and game to win. Deadlines, downloads, and dance-offs, all happening under one roof, flawlessly. Can your internet provider do that? fiber fuel your household at allofiber.com/all-in.
Are you dreaming of your business dominating local Google searches, drawing in customers effortlessly? Look no further. I'm Courtney, the Google gal from Pixel Fire Marketing. Need assistance with your Google business profile? From verification to getting more reviews, fixing maps to tackling annoying Google calls? I've got you covered. Your profile sets you apart and ensures you're the top choice for local customers. Visit fixmygbp.com for our $297 special offer. Visit fixmygbp.com for more details.
Is your car making weird noises? Don't wait until a small issue turns into a big repair bill. Take it to Mad Hatter Auto Repair, where they take the madness out of auto repair. From oil changes and brakes to full diagnostics, their expert team gets you back on the road fast and without breaking the bank. Honest, reliable, local. That's the Mad Hatter difference. Follow the Little White Rabbit to 140th and West Center Road in Omaha or 34th and West Broadway in Council Bluffs. Mad Hatter Auto Repair, where your car gets treated right.
Wedding season's here, and Jerry Ryan Clothing and Sportswear has been trusted for over 50 years to help you look your best. Whether you're the groom or part of the wedding party, Jerry Ryan can outfit every man in the wedding from head to toe. From custom suits and sport coats to dress shirts, shoes, and accessories, their experienced team will help make sure everyone looks their absolute best on the big day. Visit Jerry Ryan Clothing and Sportswear at 78th and Dodge today, where Omaha's best-dressed men have shopped for over 50 years.
At Timber, they don't just give you a place to go for lunch or dinner. They give you an experience. From their bold, smoky flavors prepared in the open concept kitchen where you get to watch the magic happen to the relaxing umbrella-shaded patio. There's something for everyone at Timber. Join them for brunch every Saturday and Sunday from 9:30 to 2, plus happy hour from 2 to 5:30 Monday through Saturday, and 2 to close on Sunday. Timberwood Fire Bistro in the heart of Omaha at 84th and Pacific.
I'm Emmett Smith. Opioid poisonings cause the most accidental deaths in the U.S., and I've lost loved ones. But now I'm prepared to save a life. Just remember, lay, spray, stay. Lay the person on their back, use Narcan nasal spray, dial 911, and stay with the person until help arrives. Continue to administer additional doses as needed. An opioid poisoning can happen to anyone, anywhere, anytime. Always be ready to rescue. Learn more at readytorescue.com.
Imagine if the people who work at your bank were neighbors who could help with a home loan.
Congratulations, you're approved.
Or friends who love to shop local.
Have a good one.
At UBT, who you work with matters just as much as what you're working toward.
Hey, thanks for helping.
That's why your money has more than a banker. It has people. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Smokey the Bear. Then you know why Smokey tells you when he sees you passing through. Remember, please be careful, it's the least that you can do. Don't play with matches, don't play with fire.
After 80 years of learning his wildfire prevention tips, Smokey Bear lives within us all. Learn more at smokeybear.com. And remember,
only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
The back seat. Check the back seat. All right, come here. Check the back seat.
Gets in your head, right? Good. Because every year, dozens of children are forgotten in the backseat of a car by a parent or caregiver. All never thought it could happen to them. But with changes in routines, distractions, or a sleeping child, it can happen to anyone. Parked cars get hot, fast, and can be deadly. So get it in your head.
Check the back seat.
A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Molino Fireworks is home of the original buy one, get 3 free sales special. There's no better way to celebrate the nation's 250th birthday than with Molino Fireworks. Better quality products, better prices than anyone in the Midwest. More than 50 locations in the Omaha Council Bluffs area. There's no need to go anywhere else. Look for their signature inflatables or Molino flags. Save big as you prepare for your big celebration this 4th of July with Molino Fireworks. Visit MolinoFireworks.com for a full list of locations.
Now back to After Hours with Jimmy Allen on 1620 The Zone.
Closing her up on a Taste Test Tuesday here in 1620 Zone. Not too late. Head over to our Twitter page or our Facebook. Share the Taste Test Tuesday post from Marrow tonight. Once you're into a drawing to win a $25 gift card tonight. Jake Janicek is with us tonight. It's time for our closing arguments. We'll each give you a hot take to wrap up the show. And whoever we'll put the poll up on Twitter with both of our takes. Whoever has the most amount of votes for our hot takes will win the poll tonight. Jake Janicek, go start us off.
I think in the FIFA World Cup, another one of the big boys are going to lose in these next couple days. Either that be England, Spain, Portugal, or Argentina. I think one of them are not going to make it to the round of 16.
My take tonight is not World Cup centric, but I'm going to give you a take on your take. That team is not going to be France because Kylian Mbappe is that dude, and I think that France is probably my pick to win the whole thing as they dominated Sweden 3-0 today. This is more of a PSA to my generation of sports fan. If you've fallen out of love with the NBA over the last 5 to 10 years, I hear you because I'm definitely in that same ilk. But if you loved any of the LeBron James era, and if you haven't been paying attention, I think you need to pay attention to this free agency period because this is the end of that generation of basketball unfolding in front of our eyes. Whether it be Kawhi Leonard being moved to Toronto, that's not official yet, but it sounds like that's going to be the case. Wherever LeBron ends up, whether it be Miami, whether it be Golden State, I would be amazed if it ends up being anywhere else. Or even the fact that Ja Morant is no longer a Grizzly and is in Portland. Like, this officially feels like the end of the LeBron James era. And you're probably going to get 1, maybe 2 more years of it. I mean, KD is aging out. James Harden is aging out. Like, those guys, this is officially becoming the Nikola Jokic, I guess we'll throw Victor Wembanyama, the Luka era into it's officially becoming their league. So if you
don't forget Shea,
I will forget Shea. He hasn't flopped in the last 4 minutes, so I've already forgotten about him. No, I do think the Thunder are going to have a year that is going to bring them back into the fold. But if you loved that version of the NBA, this is the last time I think you're going to be able to appreciate it, and it's going to look very different. Even if there's a situation like Kawhi going back to Toronto, like just seems this weird thing happening in sports where coaches and players like Rich Rod being back in West Virginia, Scott Frost being back at South Florida, Kawhi going back to Toronto. It's almost like we're back in 2008 again. But it's I really think that sometimes we have to remember in sports that nothing lasts forever. I think Serena at Wimbledon today is probably, if not the antithesis of this, the free agency market in the NBA right now should be. But we've already seen it happen in the NFL with the end of the Manning-Brady feud, and Rodgers is probably the last little sliver of that era that's left hanging in there. That if you didn't appreciate that when it happened, appreciate this now, because we're not going to have much left of Steph. We're not going to have much left of KD. We're not going to have much left of LeBron. And not to say that the NBA is going to see a decrease, because I think it's, especially the way the finals ended this year, maybe in the best hands it's been in the last 5 years. But for anybody that's hating on LeBron for the ring chasing he's doing or the clout chasing, or however you want to phrase it, if he does end up going to Golden State or if he does end up going to Miami, just enjoy the ride. Because I think the discussion of LeBron being a top 5 player is officially over. And I think we should, I will, because there's always been the debate about LeBron between he and Jordan or he and Kobe or whoever, that we've never really appreciated the greatness that LeBron James brought to the table, because we always wanted to compare him against other players. And that has kind of taken away a little bit of the enjoyment of the game of LeBron James. It isn't going to be nowhere near his peak or his height of performance from his athletic standpoint, but he's still going to be one of the best 10 players on the planet. So try to enjoy the last ride, whatever city it ends up being in, and whatever Boys and Girls Club he chooses to make this announcement out, whatever he decides. Hey, can we talk about that for a second? People hate on him so much for doing the decision. Like, you know how much money he gave into the Boys and Girls Club, and how many of those kids that got that once in a lifetime moment of being on TV with him to do that? Like, I think if he doesn't do the other selfish things in life, that probably gets looked back
helps
on
out
a little bit
bit.
fondly.
He also got one of probably the best Steve Carell sketches ever from that. Have you ever seen that before?
Yeah,
yeah, about him.
Absolutely.
Where he's eating that night.
Yeah,
like that's fantastic. The jokes that came out of it, like
it's
was
going to be a meme forever, as it should be. But like, he was doing it for all the right reasons. But we'll see where he ends up. Maybe we'll talk about that tomorrow. Jake Janasek will be back on After Hours tomorrow in place of Dan Camper. I will be here. Alan Burrell and the Millard North Mustangs football team will be in studio tomorrow night as well. Thank you to DeJuan Johnson and the Omaha South football team for coming in. If you missed any of the show, including the Packer segment tonight, check it out on our radio replay page on 1620thezone.com. It was brought to you by Williams Law. If your son or daughter has found themselves in a little bit of trouble because it's warmer outside, maybe you've made a bad decision, got behind the wheel of a car after having too much to drink. It's a mistake, but it happens. And if you need somebody to defend you, can count on. Head over to WilliamsLawLLC.com tonight. Bob and his team will give you a free, no obligation legal consultation tonight. For Jake Janasek, I've been Jimmy Allen. Happy National Meteor Shower Day, everybody.
Rail Cars Happy Hour is here.
Stop by 144th and Blondo Monday through Saturday from 2:30 p.m. to 6 p.m. and Sunday from 2 to close and enjoy $2 to $5 off appetizers.